words I have to say may well be simple, but they're true. Until you give your love, there's nothing else that we can do. Love is the opening door. Love is what we came here for. No one could offer you more. Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes really seen? You say it's very hard to leave a life behind that we knew. But there's no other way, and now it's really up to you. Love is the key we must turn. Truth is the flame we must burn. Freedom, the lesson we must learn. Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes really seen? Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes really seen?
Thank you so much for this song, Stephan. And hello, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. My name is Kayla Kunimoto. I am your MC here at Unity of Tacoma and your vice chairman. Thank you for joining us today. So our guest speaker is Cindy Akana with her talk title, The Power of Love. And our musician today is Stephan Plummer, bringing us today's lovely music. So Sydney, could you start us off with this morning's prayer?
Most certainly. Let's go ahead and close our eyes and turn within. Just take some deep breaths, being appreciative that each breath is a gift of life. And the gift of life is a gift of love. And that we have both a life and we have love that we can put out there in the world to nurture those around us. And that as a group, as a unity of Tacoma, that life and that love come together to be something even more significant. Just release whatever anxieties you're hanging on to, whatever fears you're hanging on to, whatever concerns, just release those for this next hour. Give those away. Set them on the shelf. They do not serve you well. This is a time of celebration and a time of coming together. And so it is. Amen. And then we have Stephan for our next music number.
Do you know how much your love means? Do you know how many hearts you've lived in? Do you know your love is healing? Such a beautiful feeling. Do you know your love is precious? It warms me like the shining sun. Keep shining through the darkest season. Your life has such a perfect reason. In a world of sadness and strife, you could help change somebody's life. If love has made a difference to you, help somebody else believe that it's true. Oh, love is the key. Take it from me, show your love. Love is the key. Listen to me, show your love. Do you know how much you love me? Oh, do you know how many hearts you've been there? Do you know your love is a healing? Such a beautiful feeling. Oh, do you know your love is precious? It warms me like a shining sun. Oh, keep shining through the darkest season. Your life has such a perfect reason. In a world of sadness and strife, you could help change somebody's life. Oh, if love has made a difference to you, help somebody else believe that it's true. Oh, love is the key. Take it from me, show your love. You got to show your love. Say now, love is the key. Take it from me, show your love. You got to show your love. Keep shining like a summer's day. Keep shining like a rainbow around me. Keep shining like a summer's day. Now love keeps shining all around me. Oh, love is key. Listen to me, show love. You got to show your love. Say, keep shining like a summer's day. Keep shining like a rainbow around me. Keep shining like a summer day. Now love keeps shining all around me. Yeah. Take it from me, show your love. Yeah, yeah. Show your love.
Yay, everyone's clapping. I can just hear them. Stephan, that is fantastic. Thank you for that this morning. Wow. And, to wake up on Valentine's Day and you just know you're going to get like a big box of chocolates. It's so awesome. It makes me so happy. And, just to be able to celebrate love and these cool flowers that I have in the back, that's really what, love is all about. Well, hello, Jasmine. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, but I have something to tell you.
Yeah, but I'm in the middle of a talk.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I don't really like what you were having to say.
Okay.
So I have something, because I think I have something a little bit more important that the people need to know about love.
Okay. Well, give it to us.
Well, I'm going to do it in song, so I need you to give me a beat.
A beat?
Yes, a beat.
Okay. What's wrong with that?
Well, that is like the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, but you're talking to a 60-year-old white woman. I don't know how to beat.
Well, that's obvious. Well, here's what my advice is. Put a little more into it. Just really feel it and just make it a little more funky. You can do this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just horrible. Let's just stop that. Let's try something else. How about all of you out there in your living rooms or coffee shops, wherever you are? Let's just get a clap going. See if you can help get them a clap going.
You mean like boom, 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 clap, clap, clap.
Nah, no, a little more.
Okay, a little bit more like that. So get doom, doom, doom. Okay, so here we go. Doom. Get your clapping going.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, keep it up. You guys film me now. This is gonna really be bad. Okay. Love is patient and love is kind. Well, love is never rude. It bears and believes all things, hopes and endures, rejoices in the truth. That's what love is all about.
Yeah, but those are the words that are in my song every day.
I know. You
Well, yeah, I did take it from that because it is.
Well, I suggest that you kind of take your talk and you begin to focus on that.
Okay.
And please practice your rapping and your beats, because as long as you're a bad rapper, I'm going to be a bad rapper.
Okay. I get that. Thank you, Jasmine, for dropping in.
Okay, I gotta go. Bye. Bye.
I think she's teaching a dance class. She teaches ballet and hip hop. She does both of those. Well, I think, let's look and see what she's talking about. So let's pull up 1 Corinthians 13. I'm going to put it up here on the screen. Okay, so 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 7. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Ooh. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. I love that passage. It kind of has a sing-songy sound to it. So that's kind of why I put some of those words into one of my songs. That's a good description of love. And when I look at that closer, I see that it's filled with action verbs of what love is and what love is not. So it says love is patient, kind, it rejoices in the truth, it protects, it trusts, it hopes, it perseveres. Those are all action verbs. And then love is not, and another series of action verbs. It's not envious, it's not boastful, it doesn't dishonor others, it's not proud or easily angered. You could see the list goes on, but it's both a collection of verbs of what you can do and what not to do. And when I'm a teacher, I'm a high school teacher. So one of the things that we do sometimes is we do a T chart, which is like a T. And on one side, you put a list of what something looks like, and on the other side of what it sounds like. So I put a chart together, a T chart here, about what love looks like and what love sounds like. So I'm gonna look at the love looks like first. So if I walk into a room or I'm around somebody and I'm seeing, what am I seeing that tells me that's what love is? So like waiting quietly or paying attention. Someone's paying attention. Listening. Somebody's listening to you. Maybe they're stepping up to lead in a situation. On the same hand, maybe they're stepping back to follow. Those, I think, are some examples of what love looks like. What does it sound like? Well, it could sound like, well, how can I help you? What do you want? Or what do you want? That must have been difficult. I believe in you. You can do this. I'm so proud of you. Tell me more. So those are some things that love looks like and sounds like. And I think you probably can come up with a bunch yourself. I was going to put my phone number and have you text in some things. Then I thought, no, you guys start sending me stuff later on. I don't know if I wanted to get that or not. So but anyway, so with that, you can see that there is how does it look? So it's interesting to me that 1 Corinthians 13 does not say, love is the warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you're with someone you like a lot. It doesn't say it's that feeling of loneliness when you are away from those you care about. And love isn't that feeling of happiness when you're with the partner you want. It's the one you've got your eye on. It doesn't say any of that. Now, I'm not saying that these feelings aren't love, because I think love is both a feeling and an action. But the power of love is the action part. It is doing love, not just feeling it, that impacts others. And we can do love even when we don't feel it or understand it. Now, for example, I might feel irritated at a parent or a child, but I can still be patient and kind to them. I don't have to turn my kind switch off and my blunt switch on because I'm feeling irked. I've done it, but it's not a very loving act at all. And I don't get the results I really wanted. Or let's say I'm annoyed with my partner. I don't just flip my affirmation my affirmation switch over to an insult switch because I'm not feeling all warm and fuzzy inside. If I see love only as a feeling, I will be more likely to flip those switches and respond in an unloving manner. Now, I'm letting my immediate and any unpleasant emotions dictate any unloving response. I have turned love from a powerful action into an emotion that I'm presently feeling. So my response is going to reflect my feeling and not actually the action or the power of love. Let me give you a kind of a little more, a more in-depth example. So Deidre, she was a 14-year-old girl and she wants to spend the night at her best friend's house, but her mom says no, and explains that the family was going to go on a family hike the next morning. And Deidre says, all of a sudden she's like, hiking is stupid, and asks again if she can go to Sasha's house instead. Now, her mom doesn't give in and instead reminds Deidre how much she likes to hike. And then she recalls the fun hike that they did together to Twin Falls last spring. Well, Deidre still isn't getting what she wants, so she blurts out, well, I don't like hiking with this family. I'm embarrassed to be around with you and mommy out in public. Now, her mom looks hurt. She doesn't budge on her stance. So Deidre pushes a little more and shouts, Mom, you are so lame. I hate this family. And she storms out of the room. Most of us that have had kids have had some kind of incident like that, or we've seen something like that. Now her mom starts after her and she shouts, well, fine. You're now grounded for the next 2 weeks and give me your phone. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is never rude. So where are the actions of love here? The power of love. Now, the feelings of love have obviously fled the scene, but the actions of love do not have to go out the window with the feelings. Now, I do not want to critique the teenager's behavior because she is the child and is still learning from her parents. So I want to focus on the parent because depending on how her parent responds, she's going to learn the power of love or the fight for control. You see, in this situation, the mom really isn't listening to her daughter. She takes in her daughter's comments as complaints, put downs, perhaps even hate. And this reduces her own feelings of love and maybe turns them into fear and anger. And those are two often very uncomfortable emotions. And when she lets those feelings dictate her responses, then she is teaching the fight for control. But love is more powerful than uncomfortable feelings. Love is more powerful than uncomfortable feelings. And the power of love is not about control. So let's look again at our T chart for a second, see if we can pull something up from that makes sense. So a couple things I pulled out was what love looks like. Love is like paying attention and listening. What does love sound like? What do you want? Tell me more. So pulling those things up made me think about this. What if her mom said, tell me more about your plans, Deidre, to go to Sasha's and why this is so important to you. And then she takes time to listen without trying to change her daughter's point of view. Well, no, trying to manipulate. No, you really like hiking, remember? So instead, she's meeting her daughter someplace and saying, tell me more about this. And I'll tell you what, when you reach out like that, the person all of a sudden feels like you are with them. You care about them. That's a loving act. And it takes away the control part or the power, the fight for control. Maybe the mom could have said, hey, that sounds like a fun time. You always have a fun time at Sasha's, don't you? But we've been planning on this family hike tomorrow morning. So, do you see a way that maybe you can do both? So she's validating her daughter's wants. She's also saying what, she had made a commitment to do with the family. And then she puts it back and said, well, what do you think about it? She's giving it back to her. And that's the problem solving. Part of love too, in action, is problem solving together. So, and now she's listening. She's given her they're not fighting for control. Now they're negotiating. They're working together. Now there's some people who think like, oh, no, you just got to tell a kid what to do. Well, you can tell a kid what to do. But I'll tell you, every single time you're now fighting for control. Who's got the control? Who's got the power? Is that the relationship that you want to have? Or do you want to have a loving relationship that builds trust, that builds a relationship where they want to hang out with you? She could say, hey, you're going hiking with us, whether you like it or not. And Deidre goes on the hike, and the whole time she's on the hike, she's like, That's probably not the experience that you wanted either. So I'm going to think of another thing. Maybe her mom could have said, it sounds like you really have been looking forward to this time with Sasha. Do you want to see if she wants to join us for the hike tomorrow instead? So in all of these cases, the love, even though she could hear all those things, but instead of hearing that as an attack on her, whatever Deidre was saying, instead of hearing an attack on her own plans, the family plans, on her house, herself, she's lame, she'd turn that around to listen. What is it that my daughter's saying? My daughter really wants to spend time with Sasha. And why is that so important to her? Because it obviously is because she's lashing out at me. So, but if we just go with the feelings, oh, she's lashing at me, I'm going to lash back at her. You're grounded. Give me the phone. And then I can guarantee you that hike the next morning is not going to be what they had all expected it to be. There's so many different options that could have happened here if the adult had turned around and said, hey, tell me more. What is it that you want? Why is it that you want? Here's what I want and need. What do you think we can do about both of these? Now, it's interesting. I'm not really interested in the final outcome of the conversation. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to label something as this is the right way or the wrong way. I simply want to say that the conversation, it is what is very important. And a conversation, a loving conversation with somebody brings you together. And it can still take place even if you're not feeling the fluffy, loving feelings. So I think, unfortunately, with Valentine's Day, it's always, we focus on the loving, fluffy feelings. And we think, oh, I don't have a significant person for Valentine's Day. Oh my God, that was most of my life. I think I got married when I was close to 30. So I can't remember any significant Valentine's Days up till I was 30, because I always thought, okay, something's wrong with me because I don't have a significant person in my life. And my best Valentine's Day was going skiing with somebody that I didn't even hardly know, but we both had the passion for skiing. And so we went up and we skied for the day, and I embraced the day, and it was so much super fun. But if I had to keep placing my value on myself because I was not in a relationship for all those years, it would have been very damaging. And so it's like, to me, that I knew that wasn't what love is. Yeah, the feelings of love are fantastic, but they come and go depending on, our feelings can sweep through all sorts of ways. But the choice of how to act, we always have that no matter what we're feeling. We can say, and the feelings often come up that help us make, maybe we want choices. We're like, oh, I want to do this because we're trying to get rid of the feeling, or we're trying to get away from it or change it. So we make choices. But if we're not making a loving action choice, it's usually not helping us out or helping the relationship out. To truly be loving, we need to separate the feelings of love with the action of love. We need to separate that. And knowing that emotions don't dictate our actions, we control our actions. We can choose to be loving, even when we don't feel like being that. I'm going to close with a story about, this is my son. And so if some of you know that I went through a divorce, and my husband came out of the closet after 14 years of marriage, and we decided to go ahead and get divorced. We were not angry at each other, but the divorce was so difficult for me. It was probably 3 to 5 years of some really deep struggles and stuff like that. And the first 3 years, or a couple of years, I was still raising my son until I ended up becoming homeless. And then he went to live with his dad. And I knew I was doing the best I could. And I knew not to put things off on my son going through this. Like, he's not going to be my caretaker. I got to take care of myself. But you have to imagine that it's got to be hard, because I couldn't be there for him in terms of emotionally all the time. But I really made some choices to, okay, I'm going to get up every morning and make him lunch no matter how I'm feeling, or I'm going to go for walks with him no matter how I'm feeling, because he needs time with me. So there are choices that I made. But when he was just a few years ago, he came to visit, and I took him out to dinner for his birthday. And we were sitting there at the dinner, and he's always so fun to be around, because he's both very intelligent, but he's also really fun. So he's funny. So he's sharing stories, and he opened up and started sharing some of the struggles that he had when I was fighting my depression from the divorce. And I felt horrible, because I didn't know that experience that he was having. I mean, I knew that there must be something going on, but he always seemed to do so well. He still was doing great in school, was the top of his class, So I was looking for signs like that maybe something wasn't right. But he was sharing about how he had really, some of his experiences and how hard it was. Now, like I said, I felt horrible, right? And I knew I did the best I could with what I could. But I did not get defensive. I did not shut down and start licking my wounds like, oh, poor me. This is horrible. And I didn't lash out or blame him. None of that would have been actions of love. Instead, I listened, and I listened closely. I asked some clarifying questions, wanted to know a little bit more, so that I could really understand his story. And then what he told me didn't necessarily make me feel better. It's like, oh, wow, I'm so sorry, But I thanked him for sharing his experience with me. That was my loving action. I thanked him for sharing his experience with me. I acknowledged his courage to tell me his story. Was it hard to do those things when I was feeling like that? I would say not so much, because at that point I had really learned to separate my feelings from my real acts of love. Knowing that by doing that, I could make choices that would create a better relationship, that would be nurturing as opposed to alienating or separating or trying to rationalize. When you rationalize or blame or defend yourself, you're pushing people away from you. You're turning it around on you. You're not listening to their experience. It was a very painful time that evening, that part of it. but it was also one of the best nights of my life. I am thrilled to be able to know his experience. I'm sad that he had to have that experience and that I was connected to that and the cause of it, but I'm glad to know it. I'm glad to be able to say, yeah, I can take responsibility for that. What do I need to do to make it better for you? Those are the acts of love. And as we move, forward again, the feelings of love are absolutely fabulous, right? They feel good. We are people. We are meant to be in relationship. We need to feel loved and we need to love others. We need to have there's that connection. But if we focus on the actions, even when the feelings aren't there, we can continue to grow together, to create relationship, to set some kind of foundation on which we can build. That is the power of love. The power of love is actions of love. And I want to end with that and call Stephan back up to sing another song for us.
Hi, everybody, again. This is by the Judds years ago. Sing it with me. Love can build a bridge. I gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. And all your hopes are sinking. Let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly, every heart would understand. That loving on and love, join the tribe. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. Oh, and all your hopes, let me show you what love can do. Your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, anything. Keep on believing in the power. Yeah, love, love and only love. Between your heart and mine, love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I know it's time. Yes, I know it's time.
Let's move into a time of meditation. And I'm going to play some background music. Let me be the love I want to receive, or let it flow. It's a song about love. So as we move forward, go ahead and get yourself comfortable and just focus on your breathing, focus on your breath. Realizing again that breath is both life and love. Just get comfortable breathing. Focus on that breath again. Get yourself centered. And we're going to turn within again. I want you to think about an emotion that comes up, that often maybe comes up for you. That keeps you from acting loving. What is an emotion that comes up that keeps you from acting loving? Is it when you're feeling tired? When you're hungry? Those aren't emotions, but those impact them too. What about when you're feeling annoyed? If you're feeling angry? You're feeling worthless, put down? What's an emotion that comes up for you? And you find that you often respond in an unloving manner. Just identify that emotion and sit with it for a while. It's part of you. It's got a message for you. Any emotion that we have has a message for us. It's telling us something. That's what feelings are. They are signals. So what is that message? Ask that emotion. What's the message? What is it that you want to tell me? What do I need to know about myself? I'm doing the same thing myself because I had a little meltdown today. And I'm like, what was that about? What's that emotion? So now I want you to think about what can you replace that or not replace it, but when you're feeling like that, what can you choose to do instead of just responding? What can you actually say? You're planning ahead. You're saying, when I'm starting to feel tired, or I'm starting to feel annoyed, or I'm feeling angry, or I feel slighted, what do you want to do? Plan ahead. What action can you take that you're going to just automatically do? A loving action that you're going to respond with when you're feeling like that. Maybe you're annoyed because you're tired, or maybe you're hungry and somebody comes in and says something and you feel the annoying happening, or you want your space and someone's stepping into your space and you're feeling annoyed. What's the loving reaction you can do? Remember, the feeling is just telling you something about yourself. It is not something that has to control you. What do you want to replace it with? Do you want to replace it with listening? So you know what, I'm just going to listen. Instead of being defensive or trying to protect myself, maybe I'm just going to listen. What is that person saying? Do they have a message for me? Maybe they need time. They need to talk to me. What are you going to choose to do instead of just responding? What's the conscious choice? And I'm just going to be quiet for a little bit so you can just see what comes to you. I encourage you to find somebody this week that you will share this with. There's power to sharing what we've decided to do. I know for me, I've decided just to take a deep breath and remind myself, all is well. All is well. Just that reminder that all is well can make me turn away from the feelings. When you're comfortable, go ahead and just come back out of your meditation state. Open your eyes. And again, I want to encourage you to tell somebody about this week. It helps us solidify the plans that we make. So tell somebody about it. And then Stephan, I just want to invite you back up to give us another song.
This is I Am as God Created Me in Light, in the Love, and the Glory. Sing it with me. I am as God created me in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me in the light, in the glory. I am as God created me in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me in the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am. Yeah. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am, and you are, and we are. Yes.
I love that, Stephan. Thank you, Sydney, too, for that beautiful message. I have some last few announcements. I'll give the benediction, and then Stephan will sign us out with one last song. And that's that our shop, Unity, on our website, Unity of Tacoma, has a few new goodies on there. So if you would like to support Unity of Tacoma, you can go on our website, unityoftacoma.org, and see our shop. 100% of all profits go back to providing you guys guest speakers and musicians. So if you're curious, you can go and give it a little look. So now for our benediction. We are here now, far apart, but together. Let us think about what today represents. Love. Love is something that extends past people we feel it towards. It is a power that has the ability to change one's perspective and relationships with others. Let us ask Spirit to help us channel that into our daily lives. Amen.
So this is sort of a chant song. Love is the healing power. Love is healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is. Love is. Love is the healing power. Is a healing power. I know love is a healing power. Love is a healing power. Love is. The more you love, the more you live. The more you love, the more you live. The more you love, the more you love. The more you love, the more you live. The more you love, the more you live. The more you love, the more you love. One more time. Love healing power. Love is a healing power. Love is. Love is.
Thank you, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day.